And I've heard from multiple agents that if their client wants to go to the Sixers, they're going to be advising that guy, are we sure you want to hitch your wagon to Joel Embiid, who's never proven to be...
This is the one. This is the segment that came out yesterday. I mean, this podcast came out yesterday or 2 days ago, but this is the quote that was being kind of surfing around Twitter. Is that, listen to this part.
That if their client wants to go to the Sixers, they're going to be advising that guy, are we sure you want to hitch your wagon to Joel Embiid, who's never proven to be healthy in the postseason? Which I've never really heard anyone say. So, like, I mean, it was like unanimous amongst people I was speaking to about this story. And when I just have been talking about Philly and the prospect of their cap space to people, it shouldn't come as a shock. Joel Embiid's been injured every single time he's been in the playoffs outside of the bubble. And that wasn't a very long run.
Yeah, and he just turned...
What about 2019, my guy? We'll let that slide, Jake.
30, it's like...
But I understand what you're saying. The Sixers are also going to have trouble signing free agents who are looking for a contender because, yes, Joel Embiid's an MVP, but he's hurt every year. Does a player who's looking to win want to come to Philly knowing that Joel Embiid is probably going to get hurt? So it's not just cap space, contracts, trades, sign-in trades, draft picks, whatever else. It's also the fact that Joel Embiid being hurt all the time not only kills the Sixers every season, but now is probably affecting the Sixers trying to get free agents. Oh, dude. Man, blow this shit up, man. Blow this shit up, dude. Let's call it what it is, dude. The Sixers are so cooked, it's unbelievable. Let's continue.
This is so funny, like Paul George being like, it's like he's the belle of the ball. He can do whatever he wants. He can stay at home and make a king's ransom to play with a guy who's never healthy in the playoffs, or he can go to Philly and make a king's ransom to play with the guy who's never healthy in the playoffs. The world's your oyster, Paul.
It's true. So the other options of like that tier of guy, DeMar DeRozan doesn't really make stylistic sense.
I don't think
he
so
operates
either.
in the same mid-range area that Joel Embiid does. He's voiced his public...
That's why Tobias Harris didn't make sense for 5 years, but they tried to force it for 5 years. Please no DeMar DeRozan. Please no.
Wants to go back to Chicago. The only other name that
the
makes...
unfinished business, right? The unfinished business in Chicago.
Exactly. The only other name that really makes any sense to fit this two-way wing that the Sixers want, that is even considerably close to this quote-unquote top player, it's OG Anunoby. And I'll say this is probably one of the more interesting things I've learned since my conversations around the Marriott Marquis in the South Loop. Pascal Siakam, OG's former teammate in Toronto, messaging across the league, don't trade for me unless you're giving me the big bucks. He seems all but locked into Indiana.
Okay.
Definite word around the combine that OG Anunoby is not just a surefire return to the Knicks. Of course, New York has every incentive to match whatever type of dollar. He's not a restricted free agent, right? He's gonna decline his 19.9. I cannot report definitively he's going to, but come on, guys.
I will say, as the non-insidery guy, it would be shocking if he did not decline his $19.9 million player option to reach unrestricted free agency, because he might double that or get close to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I cannot say definitively, I do not have it from the horse's mouth, from the knight's mouth.
From the knight's mouth.
That
there's a couple of pawns on here talking.
Exactly. So, that being said, there are definite signals going out that if you want OG Anunoby, come and get him come June 30th. That he, at this juncture,
40,
will be open to listening to other teams, not the Knicks, which I know will be a little alarming to the Knicks faithful, to the side talk heroes out there.
Yeah, because Knicks fans think that the Knicks fans think for some reason that the New York Knicks are the most desirable destination in the NBA. They've always acted like that, and they're literally always wrong. Aside from the Jalen Brunson signing, they are literally always wrong, dude. They went through LeBron James when he was about to go, when he went to Miami. Then when they thought they were going to draft Zion, they thought they were going to, last summer, 2 summers ago, they thought they were going to land Donovan Mitchell. That was locked in, definite. He wants to come to New York. Everybody loves New York. Everybody loves New York. Nobody goes there. You are us. You're the same as us. Nobody goes there. So yeah, OG Anunoby isn't like, oh, I love New York so much, I got to stay here. No, he's trying to get the most money he can.
But that was the one real juicy thing left in the notebook from the combine chatters. And the Sixers definitely were a team calling about OG back when he was with Toronto. There is some past history, of course, with Nick Nurse. From my understanding, I don't think they're like long lost best friends and just like want to reunite.
I don't believe that's ever a thing anyway. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think James Harden came to Philly because Daryl Morey was here. And he was like, oh, I love Daryl Morey so much, I want to go. Why? That's not why players go to teams, bro.
Runes loads a complete serving of fruits, veggies, adaptogens, vitamins, minerals, super mushroom.
Players go to teams to try to fit their play style the best, give themselves a chance to win the most, and give themselves a chance to show off their skills. If they're on the downside of their career, show a team that you still got a couple years left and try to earn a contract. It's a job. They're trying to continue to get paid. Nobody, James Harden to Daryl Morey, OG Anunoby to Nick Nurse, nobody's going somewhere because of a former coach or because of a former GM or anything like that. I want to go somewhere that I fit in, that's going to showcase my talents the most, that's going to help me continue to get paid.
But I think it's not a situation where there isn't like good potential to, reunite and what have you. And I expect him to go back to the Knicks. This could all also just be an attempt to get that higher number, to get the Knicks to give more. But it's just something that
it's both. OG Anunoby said, I'm willing to sign with other teams if they're going to give me this much money. Of course, that's to make the Knicks want to give him the most money. But it's not like I'm staying with the Knicks, but I'm going to do this to see if they'll pay. No, I'm going who's going to pay me the most money. Is it the Knicks? That's what an unrestricted free agent is. You're unrestricted. I'm looking at all teams, Knicks included. Who's giving me the most money?
I've heard from multiple teams. Like, literally, I've only heard it from 4, but I'm sure there's more. 4 different teams told me, hey, we have received word that OG is not just a done deal back to the Knicks.
Of course.
We will be able to make an attempt to get him come June 30th. So, and that's again through the signals and the channels. We don't know where the word's coming from.
Sure.
It's in the wind.
Yeah. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. Obviously, it benefits OG Anunoby and his representation greatly to generate the largest possible market for him, to get the highest possible dollar figure on whatever deal he gets, whether that's in New York or elsewhere. It also makes all the sense in the world that a player who doesn't need to be a high usage guy, is a high volume, high efficiency 3-point shooter, guards everybody at an all defensive team caliber level, and can scale up. I mean,
Mr. Rudy, thanks for the super chat. I like OG's defense, but I'm not paying a guy $40 million to average 15 points and play 40 games. Don't do it, Daryl. I agree with you on the play 40 games part. He's hurt all the time. But not on the 15 points per game part, because OG's a guy that his value is much outside of his average points per game. But if he had a track record of being healthy all the time, I'd be down. It would definitely be a guy that I'd be like, throw everything at him, But the fact that he's hurt a lot, and he got hurt 3 times in 2 months with the Knicks. I mean, Daryl's going to swing for the fences. If he does it, he does it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I mean, the Sixers are screwed, bro. What are the other options?
when he got.
We all need to accept that. Yeah, congratulations, you have $65 million in cap space, but there's not a whole lot of options to use the cap space. So congratulations, Sixers. You did something at probably the worst time you could possibly do it.